End of day, guys. So I've been glazing this one. I did a long video. I have to edit it yet on the process, some of the process, but I really didn't have a good way to hold the iPad. So hopefully when I get a break this summer, I'll be able to figure out that darn camera, unless I find somebody to figure it out for me beforehand. But anyway, so what did I do? So this has been fired once, and I tried for a single fire, but I knew it needed more, so it sat on the shelf for a year. So I finally got around to it, and sometimes you just got to let them be until I've learned a lot more about how to glaze sculptures since then. So anyway, so what have I done on it today? Well, I'm going to do another fire. So it's already been fired at cone 6, once fire, and it's stoneware paper clay. And it's very easy to glaze again over paper clay. So I'm going to do an 06 fire, a low fire, and I'm using Amico opalescence, Amico Underglazes, and some of their LMs, their mats, lead-free mats, and also some of their stones. I hear they're doing away with those, but I have a supply. So anyway, what did I do? So I used a lot of opalescent, a lot of 020 here, and I also spritzed electric blue. So that electric blue will go darker than that, but at 06 it doesn't go as dark as it does at 6. So there are layered opalescent and some LM glazes, opalescent white, and then the LM white, I think LM 11. And then opalescent 12, don't quote me on that, but opalescent transparent pearl. And then I've also added some underglazes back into, it was already yellow from the first fire, but I added and spritzed more color into the interstices and on the levels, higher levels of the textures. So let me turn it around for you. This is a vase, and there is going to be above the wings, the actual vase part. So this is like the holder for the vase, and so this that road will be not that dark and will be redder and purpler. So I layered the sky with many. I like to go back and forth between the opalescence and then laying underglaze right into them and then laying them over and just layering them to get a much more painterly effect. And then at the very end, I added some of my chunky glazes. So like in there, the pink in there is one of my chunky glazes. So it took me a while to develop that one. I usually use them on flat tiles, so we'll see how much that runs on a vertical surface. I also put some of my chunky glazes here. Those shouldn't run. They stay really dry. That particular white stays really dry and crackly. It's sort of a homemade crackle glaze. And I put one of my crackle glazes along the bottom. So that is like thick, three-dimensional. I put that on with a palette knife. So we'll see how that does on a vertical surface too. So, and then let me see if I can find I've been glazing the inside, the part that goes inside, with both some of my chunky glazes and underglazes, and it's actually upside down. So, right now on a thing to hold it in place while I do that. And how I will hold it in place for the next fire, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to work on that because I don't want it to fall over in the kiln when it's highly glazed. The first fire was mostly underglazes. So that's the whole idea is, oh, if you've ever owned horses, you dream as a girl of racing across the clouds on your horse. And the sky is the horse, and the horse is the sky, and the angel is watching over. And she's in love with her horse, takes her to higher ground. Doesn't have wings yet, but will one day. And then the other side is the more mundane part of life. There's a road to go down, and it's hilly, and there's swirls. There's wisdom to be learned through the land. I was working on that land, and it just started to look like an owl, so I added the owl face into the land and the swirls and whatnot. And then the sky goes from yellowish, lightish turquoise to a very deep blue. And there are crystals in there that I shook into the glaze when it's wet, while it was wet. So you can see those knobby things are crystals in the glaze. So I hope I'll get some effects of, not really stars, because I think those are turquoise blue or medium blue. But that's all the news that's fit to print. This is getting long. 6 minutes.